Okay, so before we begin, you probably looked at the title and thought, what the hell do you mean self-improvement's changed and how is it better now? Or maybe you thought, damn bro, we're getting self-improvement 2 before GTA 6? Nah, but for real, I think that self-improvement has been changing over the last year or so, and honestly, I'm all for it. I like where it's going. Okay, so I think the best way to start this video out is just to talk about the old self-improvement. Because what the hell do I even mean? Like, if self-improvement's changed, that means there must have been an old and a new one. But what I'm talking about is what you typically think when someone says, oh, I'm on self-improvement. First of all, what the hell does that even mean? What does it mean to be on self-improvement? I'm gonna save that for a later section though, because that's really important when it comes to talking about the old style of self-improvement. So if you're watching this video right now, you've probably been in the self-improvement sphere for a while now, and you've probably been on self-improvement for maybe a year or two or even more than that. And with that, you've probably heard of names like Hamza or even Imam Ghazi, or I don't know, there's a lot of these old style self-improvement YouTubers, guys like that, right? And while I don't think that these people are bad, I think that they do have good messages to share, especially from time to time. I want to make it clear that they're more on the traditional side, and what I mean by that is basically you gotta be grinding all the time or else you're not on self-improvement. If you're not trying to make your life optimized in every way, and you got to make sure that you're grinding on your business all the time, you got to make sure that you're working out and you have a ripped body, like you're like 6% body fat at all times, and you're basically doing zero bad habits, like that's the kind of self-improvement that I'm talking about. Like, trying to be on your game all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that don't grind for your goals. You do got to do some grinding if you want to get somewhere good in life. I think grinding is good, but in moderation. But I've definitely slowed down my pace when it comes to the self-improvement stuff. I mean, when I first started, I went really hard. Like I'm talking, I was trying to meditate for like 20 plus minutes every day. I was trying to read so much more. I was trying to make sure that I was grinding more. And, I was just trying to like min-max self-improvement activities. That's really weird, but that's basically what I was trying to do. But yeah, I've slowed down the pace a little bit, and I gotta say, I'm actually really enjoying it now. Life doesn't feel like a grind. It just feels like I'm living and enjoying my life more while still doing good activities. A couple of things to point out is I'm not always trying to push out a video as soon as I can. Before I was like, I gotta make like one video every day or every second day, and if I don't, then like I'm a failure. Like that's what I mean by like I was grinding hard. And if you've been subscribed for a while, there was a period where I was posting like almost every day. It was a lot, and honestly I don't want to do that. Or not only that, but like my morning routine was just insane. Like I was trying to fit in so many things in the first like 2 or 3 hours of the day. And my morning routine is a lot simpler now. It's only like half an hour to like an hour. It's still kind of a morning routine, yes, but I think having a morning routine is still good. But just make sure that your morning routine doesn't bleed into the afternoon, because then it's not really a morning routine anymore. And finally, with this older style of self-improvement, these self-improvement gurus like to push the idea of being on self-improvement. Like it's something that you can just toggle on and off. And if you're not on self-improvement, like you're off it, then your life is going nowhere and your life sucks. Now, you already know that I think that the concept of being on self-improvement is just weird as shit. And I've actually tried to move away from that wording. I don't like to say that I'm on self-improvement anymore. I don't know. I don't like that. It just feels kind of like cringe. I don't like it. Now I like to say that I just do like self-improvement like activities, things that are improving my life. No one's ever thought of working out as being on self-improvement. This is a relatively new idea. Like 5+ years ago even, if you said that, oh yeah, I'm on self-improvement because I read books or I meditate, like people probably thought you're like weird. Would you go up to somebody who meditates or goes to the gym and say that they're on self-improvement? Like, I think it just sounds kind of silly. But this actually segues really nicely into the next part of the video, which is how self-improvement has been shifting. And I really like where it's going. There are other self-improvement YouTubers who do preach a more realistic and holistic approach. And, I'll name a couple, like Cole Hastings is pretty good. He's actually the one where I got this video from, so shout out to him because he actually made a really good video. I'll have it linked down below. And basically what these guys are all about is it's more about just living your life and then just do a few good things here and there, but like you're still working towards a better life, but you're not trying to do this crazy routine that you have to follow perfectly every day or your life sucks. It's not about that, and I like that. It's not about grinding all the time, but it's all about approaching self-improvement activities in a more everyday, realistic way. For example, when it comes to improving social skills, the old self-improvement might say, okay, you have to read these 2 books on social skills, and then you have to go and master every single principle. Then you have to go to the mirror and you have to tell yourself, I am a confident person. I have good social skills. You know what? If it works for you, great. Again, I think before I continue too, if these things work for you, okay, go for it. But in this new style of self-improvement, what I like is if you want to improve your social skills when you're doing your errands, like, I don't know, getting groceries or something, just ask the cashier, hey, how has your day been? And just strike up a little conversation. That's one way to improve your social skills in a more natural way that is actually fittable in your daily life. It's about the simple everyday actions that we take. I find this newer style of self-improvement is just more practical in an everyday sense. It's more about living in the moment and enjoying your everyday life while still making progress towards your goals. Is that not what living a great life is all about? Enjoying it while still striving to be better? That seems like the perfect life. You can always do something better for your tomorrow self by doing something today. If you're not enjoying today, then what makes you think you're going to enjoy tomorrow any better? If you're not enjoying that everyday process, then it's just not worth it. Because then you're literally grinding your life away for something that you think will come in the future, but what about today? What about right now? I told you already that I was someone who used to grind super hard on self-improvement. And yes, I was making progress for my tomorrow self, but I quickly found out that I was not enjoying the process in the process. I would try to do my 20-minute meditation and then read for half an hour, and then I would do my complicated hour-and-a-half workout. And mind you, this is all in the morning before I do anything else. Strength train 6 days a week and just all of the, good stuff that you think is good for you. And it was just all way too much, and it was overwhelming. I wasn't even enjoying it anymore. And again, these activities are not bad by themselves. It's just do them in moderation. It's like how doing bad things in moderation can be okay. It works the other way around. Anything in excess becomes a poison. That includes good things too. And again, I want to link that video down below that I was talking about where Cole Hastings talks about how being on self-improvement is a stupid concept and everything, because again, this whole video idea pretty much came from him. So shout out to Cole Hastings. And honestly, I think he just makes such good points and I can't do that video justice. I don't want to rip him off. So I highly recommend checking that out if you're interested in exploring this topic more. So let's talk about the main takeaways of old versus new, which honestly, now that I'm making this video and I've been sitting here for like 20 minutes talking about it, it just feels kind of silly, but I think it's still worth talking about. So in a nutshell, the concept of self-improvement has been evolving very rapidly actually in the last few years, and it's moving away from this intense, non-stop grind to a more balanced and enjoyable everyday lifestyle. So to sum up the old self-improvement in like one sentence is, it's basically just grinding relentlessly with constant productivity and making sure that you're optimizing like every aspect of your day if you can. But then the new self-improvement is more of a realistic everyday approach where you don't do like intense, overly scheduled activities every single day. It's more about getting your long-term goals done still. I mean, you're not trying to get rid of those or neglect those, but it's finding joy in the process and actually having fun with getting better. If you can find something that improves your life that also is enjoyable, you found the gold mine. It's like the idea of finding a high-paying job that you actually enjoy. Those are extremely rare, but if you find one of those, hang on to it. And the same goes with self-improvement activities. Again, I was someone who was extremely routine oriented, which I still am, but not as extreme as I used to be. And this really rigid schedule just was not working with me. So now I'm someone who's more of a relaxed, sustainable approach where, okay, I'll still do some bad habits here and there, but I still do my good habits too. And I make sure that the good habits outweigh the bad habits. That's another important thing. The benefits of enjoying the present while still working hard towards your future goals, well, I think that's what self-improvement is truly about. Again, I highly recommend the video by Cole Hastings. I have a link down below. But with that said, drop a like and a sub.